I can't find my hole. Hi. Hello, people. How are you doing, everybody? I am on a delightful commute into the hole that is London, and I thought I'd do another little vloggy video. Not only do you lot seem to like them, but it gives me a couple of minutes to stop and put all my cameras on so I don't get done for speeding in the average speed zones. There's quite a lot of people that used to commute into London, and I'm sure this is like PTSD for them. My ice warning has finally gone off. Massively underestimated it this morning. Turned the bike on, big ice warning logo, and it says 4 degrees centigrade, and I thought, oh well, that's not too bad. I mean, it's cold, but really not a burly biker. Heated seat, heated jacket, heated grips, and then on the really cold days I get my heated gloves out. So I'm really not a burly biker, but burly biker but. Please don't kill me, please don't kill me. Where we live, there's quite a lot of fields and stuff around. My god, going through those fields and all the fog and all that sort of stuff. Oh, it was freezing. It dropped down to like 1 degree on my dash. Is this stick gonna go, or what are you doing? Oh, VMAX mechanics, bro. Cool. Last time I came into London, thankfully I wasn't on the Super Duke, but I turned up at the multi-storey car park and they'd shut it all. Like, all the cars could park there, but all the bikes they'd shut all the bike bays, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to street park my bike. It'll get nicked within 3 minutes. There's bicycle bays over there that no one's using. Can I just chain it up to that? No. Can I chain it up in a corner somewhere? No. Okay, can I park in a car parking space with a thing and I'll pay a ticket? No. You're being horrendously unuseful to me right now. But actually, to be fair, quite an upbeat start to the year. It seems like bloody 6 months ago now, but I had a really nice Christmas. Like, it was just sort of we basically just descended upon my parents. Loads of presents and all that sort of stuff in the boot of the car. That Stager, my god, the amount of shit you can get in the boot of it. I was just like, I put so much stuff in the back. You're at the danger that you just take stuff that you don't need to take because you've got the space to do so. And it was just quite nice because like I just threw everything and anything we could possibly think of. I could have got in there with all of the stuff as well and still shut the boot. There was so much room in there. Went down to Cornwall, regressed to a teenage version of myself. Both Emma and I proceeded to sleep a lot, eat a lot, and go for walks on the beach with my brother's dog a lot. And it was just really quite nice just to spend the time with everyone. You hero. Thank you, mate. Actually spent quite a bit of time working on cars, weirdly, this year. My brother has got, outside of his daily driver, he has got a Nissan R32 Skyline. He essentially bought it as a stripped out drift car. It wasn't in the best state when he got it, and he spent a good couple of years sort of tightening it up, and he's wrapped it, he's put it on air ride. He's done a really nice job of it. And then he's also just bought himself a 1957, 1960 something. It's around that era pickup truck. That's a lovely little thing. Really cool little thing. Oh god, that's loud. I spent a good, 10 minutes dicking around with the carburetor and the car dome. I was getting nothing, like no audio from the carburetor was going into my helmet, and it was really annoying me. And then I realised I hadn't plugged in the wire into my in-ear monitors. My custom fit guards have got speakers in them, so I plugged them into the car dome, and I hadn't done that. So it had been working the whole time, I just hadn't plugged the cable in. Nice one, Sam. Still odd to me. Fucking dare. I knew he was going to do that. So yeah, he's got the Skyline and the Datsun. The Datsun needed a little bit of work. It's sort of like he's only just got it, so he's sort of in the process of tightening it up a little bit and fixing little problems on it. There was a heating issue. His Skyline, a couple of years ago, we kind of found out what had happened, but essentially, from what I can tell, one of the oil feed lines came off. Obviously, the oil going over a very hot manifold caught fire. So the last time he looked at that car, it had a very large flame out the bonnet. Not an intentional flame either, it was pretty much, it was on fire. It was still running, so he managed to nurse it home, and then I think it was pretty much the same day. He was coming down the road towards the driveway, and because they live in like properly in the countryside, he ripped his front bumper off and essentially snapped it in half. So like really shit couple of days for him. So he kind of tucked, I mean, I get it, we've all been taking the piss a little bit, but I do understand it. But he tucked it away in the garage for what has now been 2 years. Just like, I don't even want to look at this thing, I'll deal with it when I can. We finally got that out, me, my dad and Zach sort of set to it and got it running, which was really good. This is going to work. Fresh fuel. There we go. It was running on 5 cylinders, but I think that ended up being a clogged injector. It's not running perfectly, but it now runs, so he's going to work on the Datsun, fix that up, get that to how he wants it, and then get back on the Skyline. Zach was fixing stuff. Barry, you'll love this. I was breaking stuff. On the way to Cornwall, obviously we were in the stager like I mentioned. Randomly, I got an engine check light, engine warning light on the dashboard. The car ran completely fine. Like if that warning light wasn't on the dash, I wouldn't have known any different. The car is essentially running a Haltech standalone ECU, an aftermarket high-end ECU, so you can tune it better and you can have all these different options and things. You can just plug in to the ECU and it will tell you, sort of almost like an OBD reader in a sense, I guess. It will tell you what's wrong with the car or why it's got an engine warning light or anything. Now I've done this before a couple of times, 2, 3, 4 times, whatever it was. It will only plug into a PC, it won't plug into a Mac. I spoke to my brother and said, have you got a laptop or something, like a Windows laptop that I can borrow just to plug this in and see what the code is? Before it would let me read any of the information, it asked me to do a software update. Because we'd only just downloaded the software on my brother's laptop, I thought it meant that. I was like, oh well, okay, well I need to just do a little software update on this, and then it should be fine. I have done software updates before. I've done 2 software updates before, and it's been completely fine. Like it reads all the information on the ECU, wipes it, updates updates the software, and then rewrites everything. That was cool. I downloaded the map that was on the ECU as like a just-in-case type thing. Carlisle Support Services. Learn how to use lanes. This is me being a proper diva, I know. You can see where this is going already, can't you? I'll download it on my PC, I'll stick the USB stick in the car with the map on, so I've always got it. Oh, sick. That's Suzuki SJ. Love it. So when it did the update, or when it's pressed me for an update, I thought, oh, well, that's alright, if it does wipe the map, I've got the USB in the passenger seat, or in the glove box, so that's fine. It needed to update the ECU's firmware, not the app's firmware. Entirely wiped the ECU back to stock, to the point where it wouldn't even recognise what the engine was or anything. Please put in your firing order and all these sorts of things. I was like, ah, shit. The USB stick's in the glove box. I'll just grab that out, upload it. Happy days, we'll be fine. Looked in the glove box. There's the USB. Did have the USB with me. Plugged it in. The only thing on that USB stick was startup information. I have no idea what happened, whether it didn't write properly, whether I didn't eject the USB properly, but yeah, I essentially didn't have the map. And bear in mind, this is between Christmas and New Year. I'm like, shit, what do? I'm 200 miles away from home. It's not just the stock map, so you can't just go online and download that map. It's a very aftermarket, very custom map. None of the stuff on the car is stock either. Obviously, ECU's aftermarket, the injectors are all aftermarket, it's got a hybrid turbo, different coil packs. Like, nothing is standard, it's different fuel pump, the lot. I can laugh about it now, but when I did it, I was like, oh, for fuck's sakes. I'm like, what are you doing, you absolute fucking idiot? So I then spent the next couple of days trying to work out a way of getting this thing to work. I was 99% sure I had the map at home. My dad had offered to drive me home. Like, there was all these different ways of doing it. And well, actually, I'll tell you what I could do is I'll email the company that did the map. They will likely have the map stored, although it was 3 years ago that it was done. Guess what? They're shut between Christmas and New Year, aren't they? Just playing around, I found some base maps for a Nissan Skyline, R33 Skyline, which is essentially what the car is. It shares the same engine and the running gear as an R33 Skyline. I'll see if I can at least get it started on that, and if I can, I might be, as long as it's not too bad. God, how quick this bike is. Well, yeah, worst case scenario, I could drive it down to the tuning place, and best case scenario, it runs well enough that I can get it home. Downloaded this map and I uploaded it onto the ECU, turned the key, and it fired into life. And like, I was like, oh god, thank god for that. I drove it to the top of the road and back, and that was fine. The only issue I actually had with it is that every time the turbo kicked in, it would just bog. It would like I'd get a load of black soot out the back and it would bog down. So I was like, right, if I can get home without going on boost, which is very hard, I know, it's very difficult to do that. But if I can get home without going on boost, I'll be able to get home. Like, this thing's running fine, it's just not happy. So I basically was running a 500 horsepower car with probably about 70 horsepower, and it was a weighty old girl as well. Ended up having to nurse the thing home. When I got home, I checked the PC, and lo and behold, there is my map sitting there. Uploaded it onto the car. It started straight away, went down to its normal sort of lower level idle, and I took it out for a spin, and it was all back as it was. Very, very happy. I downloaded that, well, I re-downloaded that map about 3 times, and I put it on the USB stick, and I emailed it to myself, and I've put it on my Dropbox, and I've put it on various other things, and I was even contemplating emailing it to my dad and Joe. just in case. What a moron. So yeah, that was basically what it was. But I mean, I'm going to have to service the car now, because I'd probably change the spark plugs and stuff like that, because they will be gunked up from all that soot and shit that's on the that would have happened from the poor running. This whole video's just been about cars, isn't it? Sorry. I did get to see my dad's 390 in all its glory. He's got a 390 Adventure R. That thing. Like, I bought him some bits for it for Christmas and stuff, but it's just, like, I don't know, it's such a nice looking bike. And he's just bought himself the Outback Motortech crash bars as well. He messaged me and just went, what crash bars should I get for it? And I just went, there's only one set of crash bars that I'll ever consider buying ever, and that's Outback Motortech. I've obviously slid the bike down the road on them a few years ago. The lack of damage from Romania, I dragged it on its side and all sorts of stuff, and it's just fine. Like, the crash bars didn't warp or anything. Oh no! But yeah, he's got that, and he's got the new hand guards on and all that sort of stuff. It's really coming together. Such a lovely bike. He loves that thing as well. Absolutely loves it. I'm gonna see if I can get one from KTM to do a little challenge on or something. And then the only other thing I'm going to talk about, I mean, yeah, like I said, this has been entirely about cars and about Christmas and stuff, but you're welcome. The only other thing I'll talk about is that we have a new addition to the family. If you are aware of my Instagram, you would have seen many, many photos of our new little puppy. We've got a new little pup. 7-month-old Staffordshire Bull Terrier cross. I don't know what she's crossed with, but we basically picked her up, and it's sort of a rescue, sort of not. The woman that had her before, she had two 13-year-old chihuahuas, which are aggy little things at the best of times. And she had an old English bulldog, and the English bulldog passed away a couple of years back, and then her husband thought it'd be a really good idea to get another little puppy. And you've got this ridiculously energetic 5, 6, 7-month-old puppy. Whenever I think they got it at 3 months, you've got this tiny little puppy that's just 3 times the size, 4 times the size of the chihuahuas, and it's just bounding all over him. So the chihuahuas got really yappy. She was saying that Elsie, which is the dog's name, well, it is now anyway, it was originally called Bambi, which is horrendous. She would only walk the dog the same amount as her chihuahuas, which would be if the chihuahuas wanted to go out for a walk. And obviously the chihuahuas don't walk very far. So she was saying, oh, he barks, and she can be quite aggressive with people and some kids and other dogs and stuff. And I was just like, no, you just need to exercise her properly. So we picked her up. She's an absolute delight. She is such a lovely little puppy. Everyone loves her. She is such a sweetheart. Very, very happy. Our home sort of feels a bit more complete now, which is lovely. Does mean that my days where I just go, Emma, I'm going out for the day, see you later, and I'll rock back up at 10 PM that evening, that's probably going to stop. Prepare to see many more posts of her on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. And then the only other thing I will say is a little bit of trivia for you. If you've got this far in the video, bloody well done. I saw this online the other day and it really perplexed me. If you put a lasagna on top of another lasagna, does it make it 2 lasagnas, or does it make it 1 big lasagna? Because in theory, it's 1 big lasagna, right? Is there a total amount of cheese or pasta layers that you need? Does a lasagna only need 3 layers? Like, it got me thinking. I don't know. So I thought I'd ask the people. Is it 1 lasagna or is it 2 lasagnas? Is it 1 big bugger or not? I might start doing some more of these like useless trivia questions down the line when I'm doing these little commutes, because they make me laugh. Go. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to go and see if this bloody car park is shut still. I had to street park this the other week and I just spent the entire day stressing about it. Today, as a just in case, I've got my cover. I've got the 2 LiteLok D-rings, which is, I think I've got the X3 and the X1 with me. I've got like 4 X1s. And the Core Moto 125 as well. So hopefully, if I do have to street park it, it won't get nicked. I love this bike. God, I love this bike so much. Utter cockhead. Also, if anyone's watching this and you're looking at my sat nav, I'm not parking where that's going, because I'm cleverer than that to put my parking on the sat nav, because then someone's going to go, oh, I'm going to go there. There's going to be some little scrot out there that's going to go there. So I've put in a different car park, so you lot think I go to this one, but I don't. So, nah. What is that? It's tiny. Is that a Triumph? Yeah, Triumph London. Oh, that might be a Scrambler 400. Or Street 400, or whatever it's called. Anyway, I'm going to go now and enjoy an entire day of work, although I already am late, but this is the benefit of being in senior management. Okay, bye, good love you, and all that sort of stuff. Good love, goodbye, love you, bye. Okay, bye.